Welcome to this edition of CEO Insider TV. I'm Mark Dresner, and my guest today is Mr. Tim Coker, an executive and director of Gold and Gemstone Mining, a public company trading on the over-the-counter market with the ticker symbol GGSM. Welcome to our show, Mr. Coker.
Thank you, Mark. I'm happy to be here.
Well, Tim, let's start our conversation with an overview of the company.
Sure. GGSM is a mining investment company that was formed in 2012 and is incorporated under the laws of Nevada. And our specific goal is for acquiring and developing mining rights and assets in areas with proven mining activities, particularly in the African continent.
Well, tell us a little bit more about what the company does.
Sure. What GGSM is doing is we are acquiring assets particularly in Sierra Leone. We're in the process of establishing joint venture agreements with a particular company in Sierra Leone that's already an established mining operation. And the goal of this is for us to obtain funding to be able to provide for that joint venture company to be able to bring their mining operations into full production, into full mechanical production, as opposed to more of an artisanal pick and shovel type of mining operation.
So, Tim, what is it that you're specifically targeting for your mining operations?
Well, the asset, Mark, that we're looking for is diamonds and gold. And in the Kono district of Sierra Leone, it's a world-famous region in Africa for both diamond and gold productions. We're talking about very high-quality gemstone diamonds. And when you're mining for diamonds, you also, as sort of a byproduct, have gold available. They both tend to be found together. So our target market is diamonds and gold of a very high quality and a very high grade.
And what would you say your overall business strategy is for the company?
Initially, the strategy is to secure the concessions that are already being offered to us to raise funds to be able to take these projects into full operations, starting one concession at a time. And then as one concession becomes developed and goes into production, then going ahead and moving into the second concession, bringing that into development and production, and then moving into the third concession. The idea is ultimately to get all three concessions into full operations, which will then allow us to further develop our business plan of going out and seeking additional strategic acquisitions.
What are you doing to ensure the company will continue to grow and generate the profits that you plan on?
The goal at first is to obtain investor funding. And once we have initial investor funding, initial investor capital, and we're able to bring our first concessions online, then the goal will be to internally be able to fund our projects, taking the second and third concessions into production based on the revenues from the first concession. According to our business plan, we should be able to achieve that in a very short period of time. And by short period of time, I mean within 6 to 12 months of initial funding. So the strategy is to be able to develop production at a rapid rate so that we're able to get cash flow into the company so that we can then internally invest as well as provide value for our shareholders. The management team has already identified several key companies with which to form joint venture agreements for the exploitation of this highly sought-after gold and diamond resource that is found in Sierra Leone. We've already executed a number of very exciting joint venture projects with a local established mining company in Sierra Leone, and more information on this can be viewed on our website, which can be found at ggsmining.com.
All right, Tim, tell us a little bit about your management team.
Well, Mark, we have a very strong management team with GGSM. Starts at the top with our CEO, Charmaine King. Charmaine is a native of South Africa and has been involved in the commodities industry for many years, particularly in the area of diamonds. Her knowledge and experience in the field is unsurpassed, and her network in the continent is unbelievable. And it's through her network and through her connections that we were able to achieve this incredible opportunity in Sierra Leone to have this joint venture agreement, or these joint venture agreements, with this already existing mining company in Sierra Leone. I also have been involved in the commodities industry for many years. I dealt mostly with gold and various other commodities, be it oil and gas, coal, iron ore, and diamonds. I also have a strong network in the continent, and via that network have tremendous resources available to me for additional joint venture opportunities. And GGSM has tremendous experience both in the networking and in the operation side of bringing this operation into full production. GGSM is very excited to have on our management team as well Mr. Tom Tucker, who is the head of our African operations in Sierra Leone. Tom Tucker is the son of two paramount chiefs in Kono District, and because of his relationships has incredible, really unsurpassed access to some of the richest mining lands in the Kono District of Sierra Leone. So we're very excited to have him on board as well. In addition to the existing management team, GSM has targeted several talented and experienced individuals who we're excited to bring on the management team in the very near future.
Tim, what are some of the most important decisions you make as a leader of your organization?
Mark, I think some of the biggest decisions that we've made to this point is choosing the right local partners to be able to do business with. Charmaine King was able to go to Sierra Leone and put her feet on the ground and meet with the paramount chiefs and the local government and to meet with Tom Tucker and to walk the ground that we're going to be working on. That proved to be an invaluable asset to us as a company and allowed us to be able to form great relationships with the local government, the regional government, the tribal government, and allowed us to be able to have that personal hands-on experience that has to happen in order to be able to do business in Africa. In Africa, it's impossible to be able to just come in and say, hey, I want to open for business. It's all about forming relationships. And at GGSM, that's what we've taken the time to do. We've been to Africa. We've met with the people. We've shook their hands. We've talked to the tribes. We've talked to the people who will be on the ground doing the work. And I think that that is one of the greatest decisions that we made in this venture, was to actually go and visit the people and put our feet on the ground to see what it is that we have to do to get where we want to go.
Well, along those same lines, what are some of the biggest challenges and opportunities facing the company?
I think the biggest challenge is always going to be just the simple fact of doing business in Africa. But actually what we've done is we've taken that challenge and turned it into an opportunity, and that happened the day that we decided to have Charmaine go into Sierra Leone and meet with the locals. Because what we've done is we've taken a challenge and turned it into an opportunity by establishing those relationships that have to happen in order to make this work. So the opportunities that we have presented to us are actually phenomenal because of the relationships that we've taken the time to establish.
Any new initiatives or business ventures other than the ones you mentioned previously, Tim?
Well, yeah, we always are looking forward into identifying new potential joint venture opportunities. But what we need to do right now is initially focus 100% of our efforts on furthering the geological studies on the claims that we have in our current repertoire, looking to bring first production. Our goals are to go into production in the fourth quarter of this year, 2012, and we've identified a pipeline of new deals both in Sierra Leone and beyond, but our initial focus is going to be on developing the 3 concessions that we have right now, because just those 3 concessions alone are going to be a phenomenal opportunity for us in Sierra Leone.
Tim, do you have any acquisition plans or even plans to be acquired yourself in the horizon?
Well, for our management team, we're always looking at making additional acquisitions and making additional joint venture partners. And as far as being acquired, I think that would be something that would be a little premature to think about. First, what we need to do is demonstrate our ability on the current claims that we have. But one of the things that we're really excited about, and again, this goes back to the relationships that we were able to form in country, is that the paramount chiefs in the Kono district that own the land that we have our concessions on have assured us that once we're able to go into production on the claims that we've already been guaranteed, that future lands will be available to us, actually to the point where we would be able to continue mining those lands far beyond our own lifespan. So this is a phenomenal opportunity that we've got in one of the richest gold and diamond producing areas in Africa, not just with the concessions that we have, but also with potential future concessions. Again, going back to the relationships that we were able to establish in this Kono district of Sierra Leone.
Tim, any last comments or thoughts you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, Mark, as a closing comment, I think that what I'd like to share is that this is an incredible opportunity, and we are so excited in GGSM to be in the position that we're in. We've established some phenomenal relationships in Sierra Leone. The world already knows that Sierra Leone is renowned for gemstone, high-quality gemstone diamonds, high-grade gold, and we have unparalleled access to these resources with GGSM. It's an incredibly exciting time for the company. We've got a great management team who's ready to go. We've got a great joint venture partner in Sierra Leone, and they're ready to go. And we are extremely excited to get started and get into full production.
I'd like to thank Mr. Tim Coker of Gold and Gemstone Mining for being our guest today on CEOinsiderTV.com. If you'd like more information about Gold and Gemstone Mining, you can visit the company's website at www.ggsmining.com. And you can get more CEO interviews for free at CEOinsiderTV.com. I'm Mark Dresner, and thanks for watching this episode of CEO Insider TV.